Hello everyone, my name is the Radman, and we are here for another episode of Farming Simulator 2015. Now, if you don't know what's going on, I think you'll like this. So, one major problem I've always had with a lot of my harvests is the amount of manual labor it takes to do them. So, I caved in and downloaded courseplay. Some people like it, some people don't. The main reason I haven't used it before, especially on this series, is because I always thought it was really confusing. But I was looking at it, and it appears that they have made the current version of it a lot more understandable. I still had to read a few manuals, though, because in the 2015 version of it, they made it so that you can do a lot more complicated things, such as what I'm having with this truck and my overloader over there. Even the baler is on a courseplay route. I'll show you how that works in a minute. But as you can see, I think the overloader hasn't triggered yet. It's just that the combine is driving by it. Oh no, wait, it has triggered. Okay. So now this guy's going to drive back exactly the way that I drove, so he won't hit any of my bales or anything, and he's going to drive back to where the overloader loaded him originally. And I'm hoping this isn't going to cause problems, because I've never tried having the route that the truck takes to get back to the overloader. I've never had it go over like over the same route. I'm not good at explaining. But anyway, guys, so yeah, I'm really excited to be using courseplay. I don't know why, but stop him. I don't know why, but the drivers always miss this part. Holy cow, they missed a little bit more than usual there. There we go. Good. Let that straw empty out, because if I drive forward too much, the baler will miss it. And one thing I have noticed about courseplay is I've seen videos where people make it a lot more efficient, but it's a lot faster to set it up the way that I do it. So I'll show you how to set up a combine. So this will be basically an episode and kind of a how-to for courseplay, because courseplay can be a little bit confusing if you don't quite understand what you're doing. So we're in a combine, so we're going to go to course generation here, and I've let courseplay access all my fields, and every time you like exit the game and come back, it'll automatically rescan all your fields, so if you have automatic scanning turned on, you don't have to actually scan individual fields. They should all be scanned for you. I think grass fields are the exception, though, just because of how Farming Simulator handles them. Because according to the online wiki thing, that field off in the distance, I'm pointing at my monitor, I don't know why, but I've cut off a huge chunk of it to make it so that the combine can actually go on it without stopping every few seconds. But according to courseplay, like their little help thing, that should be okay. Anyway, so now we're going to do a little thing. I'll make the map bigger so I can show you how you figure this out. So up, like straight up, is north, and then the rest of the directions follow that route. So we are starting in the north, northwest corner. And we're going to go east because I like to keep all the fields going the same direction. So now what we're going to do is click Generate Field Course. There we go. And what this has done is, also you can have it calculate the width of whatever tool you're using. So it has calculated that we'll start here and end up probably over there, considering that I don't see the stop sign over there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as field, I think this was field 25, combine. Now this is important because unless all of your implements have the same width on their headers and stuff, and see now courseplay is kind of thinking about it, and there it goes. I've never had to do this before. Oh, I know what happened. I think when I clicked to turn on the header, it confused courseplay, so it was going back to the starting area. I guess that's one way to not make it miss a huge strip at the front. But now what this is going to do is it's going to go in a perfectly straight line over and over, back and forth until it's done. And I'll now show you the tipper, because what I'm doing is I'm using this mode. So in the combine, I believe it has its own mode. I think, yeah, combine mode is only in combines or choppers, and I think maybe one other thing. But what I'm running this on is overloader, which is empty the combine, then return to a set point. So this one actually has a fairly simple route. It starts by that stack of bales. There's a waiting point by the truck which says once the condition is met, which I'll show you in a second, go to the waiting point and unload, and then go to the stop sign and wait for the next condition. So the conditions that I have set for it, these are all my courses, a lot of them, a lot of duplicates. I need to get rid of the duplicates. But what it does is when the combine gets to half full, because sometimes it'll take it a while to think about how to get over there, it'll drive over there, and then when this is 75% full, it will drive over here and unload, and that's pretty easy. For some reason, every time I reload the game, I have to tell it what combine to choose, because apparently it can't figure out which one is running and full. I don't know why. And then what happens here is all speeds and stuff. This is actual courseplay settings, like whether or not you want beacons on. I have them on just because that way I can tell what vehicles are courseplaying right now, because I don't always have all of them on at the same time, and it just kind of helps me keep track of them, especially if they're going to be moving, because if you have a vehicle going at high speeds and you're driving manually another vehicle, they don't anticipate you going across their path. Trust me, I had a truck, I almost stuck my truck in a river when I had to dodge to avoid, or what was it? I had to avoid something that was barreling down the that road back there at like 20 miles faster than I usually drive, and I almost ended up with something in the ditch, and that's going to be full now. Crap. So now if I start it, it's way over the point where it should have started, but I believe courseplay is smart enough to know about other vehicles, because see, now it says at the bottom of the screen, drive behind the combine. So now it should be smart enough not to hit the haystacks, or the chaff stacks, straw stacks. Oh, good. Don't hit the tree. Thank you. As you can see, sometimes the AI goes a little woohoo when it's trying to generate the course. But don't quote me. I didn't use courseplay in 2013, but I believe that it might not have been quite that smart in 2013. Like I said, though, don't quote me, please. I don't want to be giving out misinformation. And then what this will do is it will pull up, and once it is full, which I think it should be by the time it's done offloading, it'll drive back to the truck once the combine is out of the way. And I believe that the truck, I need to adjust the truck actually, because I was having a problem with it where they were hitting each other if the truck didn't take off, but I managed to fix it, so I think now I can turn this up. I want it to drive on, I think this one, the drive on doesn't matter as much, because there's only one starting and stopping point, but the waiting point is what that, I believe, is what that start and wait at thing is. And as you notice, because I haven't told the combine to stop when it's overloading, the second it has space, it restarts and keeps going. And we'll get in here, and now we should see, once that combine runs out, this guy's gonna stop, and then he's going to keep going on, and now he is going to go over there, and we'll be good. And oh, come on. Yeah, sometimes it takes him a second to register, And I think what I'm going to do actually is make an actual like tutorial on how to do courseplay once I have a little more time. I'll probably just do it in a fresh world with like the small vehicles, because seeding and fertilizing, it's crazy. And if you hit that stack of bales or that tree, I will not be very impressed with you. Yeah, one thing to note, for some reason courseplay is really good at avoiding like the trees and even stuff that I've put in the way, like my vehicles and stuff. But if you have something like the biogas plant, I had a courseplay where I had in the grass field between, let's see, in this part I had the truck here, the overloader here, and I was trying to get it to go over to the combine here. It would go through the biogas plant, and then right before the end of it, it would just turn into a wall. So I ended up not being able to courseplay that. I'll have to redo that route later. Anyway, so we should see it. Oh, that might... The combine might actually be full enough. Oh, come on. You know there's a combine there. It can sense them from like halfway across the map, so I don't know how it can't find a combine. Oh. Yeah, sometimes they do this where... Oh, there they go. See? It now finally figured out that, oh, the combine is ready. But anyway, now we'll go on to the baler. I could have just stayed in this tractor. And, so now what I've done is on this tractor, I've found field 23 combine. And I've loaded it, so see field 23 combine, you just click this button, and I believe if you click this button it puts it into a folder or something. I don't actually know how to use it. But now what I do is if I turn on the baler, just so it doesn't miss, it'll come here, and if the baler wasn't already on or it was folded up, it would unfold it and turn it on. But now... this is the way I like to do baling now, because it follows exactly where the combine did, except that for some reason the turning radius is too sharp, so it misses on the ends like it did over there, which I could probably fix if I mess around with it enough. But yeah, that's pretty simple. Just load the same course that you made with the combine. Or another thing I've seen people do is they get a rake and they rake it while recording the course, and then they load that for the course. Anyway, let's get rid of this course. If I had this field already built, I'd show you how to do the seeding too, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys what's happening. So now the problem is, I'll show you my big problem that I'm having now is I want to have mostly everything like course played. You know, because I like courseplay, now that I know how to use it. But I'm having some issues with this guy. Because the problem is that in an automatic course generation, the wings, or the sprayer, is usually all the way out all the time. So, at least with this particular sprayer, I've had no luck with actually getting it to work, because as you can see, it's not even folded out all the way, and already turning would hit trees. So basically I've just been kind of having to do my own spraying. But one thing that I'm actually looking at, which is potential. Oh, I also bought a mixing plant here because I was sick of manually loading bales into this thing. So now I just bought one of the basic overloaders from the early game that supports the mix, and now I just bring it in and dump in like 15,000 of it at a time whenever the cows get hungry. And you can see I need to refill it a little bit. I'm running low on grass and silage, which ironically is what I have the least of. Yeah, and obviously I'm using my square baler. I almost said I am using my square baler if you didn't notice, but not. You should have noticed. Anyway, I also bought a straw power plant that I put over by field 22. That's the unloading point over there now. let's see. So yeah, the other problem is with fields like this, it only takes 2 passes to do it, but there's like a strip like this big, which the current version of courseplay prioritizes you to finish. Like, I don't know why. I think it's because seeding and fertilizing are under the same thing, and it wants to seed the entire field without missing anything, so it kind of does this. It wastes a lot of spray is the problem. The other thing is that since I have cows now, I've kind of been considering getting out of this type of fertilizing and getting into this type of fertilizing, like using manure. I don't know how most people say that word. Let's see, how full is it? 22% and 7%. But yeah, because what courseplay can do, I've found out, is you can actually make it so that it'll automatically unload like bunkers like this, or even in a different course, of course, get all the sewage crap water out of here and put it into a holding tanker, which can then be transferred to a regular tanker, which I think works kind of like a fertilizer wagon does, which I haven't been able to show you yet. Or a fertilizer wagon. Holy cow, I'm inventing new words today. I'm not really with the program. Let's see. Oh, I also worked on making a courseplay course for the grass. Let's go back to it here, but I haven't really had a tractor available to actually pull the rake, so I've just been kind of letting it sit there. I could probably borrow this tractor for a minute, but I have to manually do courses with those fields because it's not very smart. Like, the automatic finding of stuff is good for like finding combines halfway across the map. Not really good for anything else, because I don't think it even has the capabilities of like finding bales in a field or anything. Like, that's what I think they should add eventually, is the ability to make a course. Uh-oh, someone got stuck again. That little message down there is what happens when you have a conflict of interests. Like, that was my fear, was that this coming in from over by the combine would do too sharp of a turn. So now it thinks it's going to hit that truck, but if I back it up and restart it, it should, if it doesn't try turning too sharp. Okay, you know what? I have a easy way to fix this. Just go here, drive the course. See, it's reached the overloading point. And now once this is either full... Oh, that loads at like 50%. What was I thinking? I could just set it that at 100. But anyway, so now when this is full, it'll drive off to get unloaded. Because I can't remember whether or not I've shown you this course, and I feel like I'm blathering, which I probably am. Yeah, it's been a while since I recorded a video, guys. Because my problem now is I've had a lot of time to record videos during school, which is ironic, but now I don't have any time to actually edit them, and my internet is crap, so I don't have any time to post them. So yeah, that's a problem. Hopefully eventually I'll get it figured out though. And as far as I know, if you have a course like I made for this one, which is basically a point-to-point course, where it can automatically like detect like things like tipping points and stuff. I'm pretty sure if you're running a course like this, you have to make sure you have a clear path all the time, because I don't think these are smart enough to avoid other vehicles. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll just stop and be stuck there forever. Plus, I almost had one mow down a car earlier because it didn't turn on the brakes until the car was an inch from it, but yeah. Anyway, I was thinking, oh yeah, I was just gonna show you guys. So, whoops, click that twice, doesn't really work. It actually quite lags out the game. So we're going to sell these two things because they weren't that expensive anyway, and I think the one was full of stuff, but I don't really care anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy this because I like it. And then what I'm going to do for the slurry tankers, since we already have slurry at the biogas plant, which I have neglected to check, so I need to check and make sure that plant's going to continue running, because I don't know how long it's been since I looked at it. And since we need a lot of capacity, we're going to buy this, which I hope is an actual unloading wagon. It says it is, but I've had weirder things happen before. This, I believe, yeah, this needs to be used with like a dolly or something. So I'll have to get that set up eventually. Anyway, let's reset those two. Because what this will do is, I was looking at it, and for slurry tankers, do I have an extra tractor anywhere that's already close to home that can actually pull it? Close enough. Anyway, so what happens is if you have a slurry tanker, what you'll do is you'll set it up so that like this gets loaded somewhere. Sorry, I was pointing to the wrong thing. I meant this red thing will get loaded somewhere, full of gunk and junk and blah, and then it'll go to another place where you'll have that coming to be loaded. And I'll have to mess around with them a little because I've never actually messed around with these before. I've never used them because they annoy me just a tiny bit. I don't know where the refill point is for this anyway. I'm guessing it's near the back because I think there's a pump at the back. Maybe? Huh. I might have to go research it or something. I'm sure that there's some point in this where you can actually load it. I probably just don't know it yet. Anyway. Or maybe I just bought a trailer that doesn't even support what I'm trying to load. I've done that before. I'm quite good at it. It says types. Oh, it should be the same thing because I've loaded a smaller wagon out of here before. I guess if I have to, I'll just experiment. Huh. That is quite annoying. I don't know. Maybe this is... I don't know. I've never had good luck with these big trailers. I might just go sell it. That's annoying. I was hoping that would actually work. But yeah. So what I can do is I can eventually, once I figure it out, get a course set up where hopefully I can make it smart enough that it'll load this trailer when I bring it using my little whatever you call them, telehandler that I've got with that wagon. And hopefully what I can do is I can get it so that I'll just have it drive like up to say here or something, and then the telehandler can just automatically get some manure, drive back, turn, and come dump it in here until it's full, and then just wait here but not be dumping it on the ground, because if you dump it on the ground it just disappears. But yeah, anyway, I think I might just call that an episode because I'm not feeling real well and I don't exactly remember what we were doing because it's been a while. I need to keep forgetting to stop these guys when they get done. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, if you have Farming Sim 15, I'd recommend looking at Courseplay. It's a pretty good mod once you get used to it. And hopefully you don't end up with a bunch of circles in your fields. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. My name is The Rad Man. Goodbye.